Greetings. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to join me on Life Knocks episode 19. I'm going to give you just a little bit of background. My name is Pierre Walters. I'm the director and senior producer of Blue Artists, and Blue Artists is a boutique producing firm that specializes in brand building, in building incredible brands that engage with their audience and inspire and motivate them. And we really believe at the core foundation that an inspired and motivated audience is a hungry audience. And if you have a product, if you have a service, if you have something that it is you want to get out there, there's nothing better than a hungry audience. So with that said, I want to talk to you about, first and foremost, what's new. This upcoming week on February 23rd, we are so excited because we are finally going to be able to privately premiere, privately screen our full-length feature film 562, which we have been working on for a very long time. And we are so excited that it's done, it's ready to be shown, and that's going to happen this Saturday, February 23rd at 5 p.m. Everyone is invited. Everyone that listens to our podcast, our live cast, everyone that watches and listens to Life Knocks, that reads and regularly visits our blog. If you're part of the Blue Artist community and you receive our monthly newsletter, you are invited to attend this event. It's not every day that we have the opportunity, not just us, but I think really as a community, as independent filmmakers, it's not every day that we have the opportunity to be a part of a film's completion. A lot of us are a part of films as they begin and even as they get midway through, but we don't ever see them completed. And so we're so excited to have a completed project 562, and it's ready for your viewing. Again, we really take completion of projects very seriously at Blue Artists. It's my number one thing. I don't want to take a project if I cannot commit to seeing it through to the very end. And so 562 is a shining example of that, and I am so excited to invite you all to come out and support and to see this project. You can learn more information about 562 by easily visiting www.562film.com. Okay, with that said, I want to talk to you this week about obstacles. How many of us are going through obstacles? You know, if you look at success, and you realize that success is not a destination, success is a lifestyle, then you realize that there are certain things that you have to change in your current life in order to begin to live a successful life. And in living a successful life, one of the most important things that we have to keep in mind is that with every goal, whenever you set out to achieve a goal, which is what people who are living a successful life do on a regular basis, that you are inviting obstacles into your life. You are inviting obstacles along your path as you walk towards that goal. So knowing this, how do we overcome obstacles? How do we overcome these obstacles? Well, the first thing that I want to tell you is that a mentor of mine told me when I was very young, he told me, Pierre, as a director, you are not someone that shows up and bosses people around. That's not what a director does. A director is a professional problem solver. A professional problem solver. Isn't this, to me, this was mind-blowing because I had never looked at it that way years ago when I was first starting out in this. I did not see my role as, or the role that I wanted to be in as a director, as something that was anything less than just simply being creative and having people do what you need them to do so that you can achieve success. And what's funny is that with what this mentor told me, it was the complete opposite. Really, as a director, your job is to problem solve. People are to bring you their problems, and your job is to solve them. And there's got to be someone on the team who has that responsibility, and that is the job of the director. So it's almost, if you look at it that way, it's by saying, you know what, if I'm going to sign up to direct a project, that means I'm signing up to be this project's professional problem solver. Isn't that an interesting way to look at it? By saying you're going to direct your first feature film, you're saying really that you are going to see this thing through and that you will solve every problem that comes along. Okay, that comes along on the path to success for this film. That's your job. And what's amazing is that the more you demonstrate your ability to solve problems, the more you demonstrate your ability to bring films to success, to successfully complete, you are actually inviting more and more people into your circle. You're inviting people who are inspired, who want to do their part of the project, which may be producing, acting, a director of photography, visual effects, editing, special effects, sound design, music, whatever, composing, by demonstrating to these people that, guess what? You will successfully deliver this project. You will solve the problems that come up. They have confidence in you, and they know that they can relax and they can do their part of the project, knowing that it's not in vain, that it's not a waste of their time, that this project will be completed and it will be something that they are very proud of. Obstacles are a part of success. Without obstacles, there can be no success. If you think about success as basically the completion of a goal, okay, then in order for that to happen, there must have been some progress, right? If a goal took no effort to complete, then really, was it a goal in the first place? Okay, if achieving success meant overcoming 0 obstacles, okay, then is it really achieving success? No, it's not. And that's what's really interesting to me, because there's a lot of people that I have met, and it sort of pains me to say this, but it really is true. There's a lot of people that I've met who want instant fame. They want fame and fortune, and they're willing to sell their souls, it seems, to achieve fame and fortune. And what's really sad, though, is that these people are not willing to put in the proper work that it takes to become a sustainable success. And so what happens is they achieve success only for a short period of time, and then within an instant, they're gone. It's like they were never even there. Is that the kind of success that you want? Do you want to be a flash in the pan? Well, I can tell you, certainly, I don't want to be a flash in the pan. That's not my definition of success. I want to be a sustainable success. I want to continue to produce great films and great projects until the day I die. I don't want anything to come into my life that's going to take away from the ability, the passion that I have for putting great projects together, okay, and working with fantastic people. And I sometimes feel like instant success, instant stardom, all that kind of stuff is actually really a detriment if you are not prepared for it. And just as a quick side note, that's one of the things that we really try hard to do at Blue Artists, is when we're working with leaders and small businesses and artists, we are not just building their brand, not just telling engaging stories, music videos, things that inspire and engage with their audience, but we are also working with them really face to face on a regular basis to prepare them, to provide them with the infrastructure that they need to be able to handle success when it comes. And I can almost 100% guarantee that the result of a successful collaboration with our team is basically success. And I want artists and musicians and small business owners and leaders to be prepared for that and be able to handle it when that time comes. So back to the topic at hand, obstacles. Have you ever set out on a goal and received significant resistance? You've received significant obstacles, and some of these obstacles were so seemingly unsurmountable that you almost thought it was impossible. Well, I can tell you about the time I was directing a film. This was about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and we were shipping the lights were being shipped from a different company, several states away, and somehow, I don't know if it was a snowstorm or just the weather, or something, but those lights got delayed in shipping. And we were about 1 day out from the time we were scheduled to shoot. And I was panicked because this particular project didn't have enough budget to basically cancel that order and then go and order additional lights elsewhere, more locally to where we were. And I actually think that where we were shooting, it was such a situation where we had to have the lights shipped in because something to do with not having them readily available where we were. So nonetheless, we were all panicked. We were really panicked because this was a day that was going to be very difficult to reschedule. And it was just going to be a really tough situation if those lights didn't come through. But you know what? I had faith that those lights were going to they were going to arrive on time, even if the carrier was telling us that they were delayed. I had faith that somehow this was going to be a success and we were going to overcome this obstacle. Well, guess what? Those lights never did show up. Those lights never did show up. But our production was still a vibrant success. How? How was it? How did I approach this obstacle in such a manner that allowed our production to still be a success? Well, there's a quote out there that says if you give an artist an unlimited palette, an unlimited budget, an unlimited reign of possibilities, then you are actually killing the artist's ability to create. But if you give an artist restrictions, if you give an artist limitations, if you tell them they have got to work with only these colors, or they have got to work with only this budget, or in the case of Dr. Seuss writing Green Eggs and Ham, you have got to work with 50 words or less, they can produce a masterpiece. A masterpiece. And so what happened in this situation was somehow we were able to get our hands on one light. And I just totally shifted my entire concept and my entire idea for this day's shoot to be able to accommodate this one light. And we ended up having such a great time, such a fantastic shoot. And you would never have known the drama that went into the preparation for that day. You would have never known that the lights were even necessary. The lights that did not arrive through the shipping. So that's just a small example of what it is that I'm talking about: overcoming obstacles, being ready to change, being ready to modify the way that you approach situations, knowing that your goal, your eventual goal, is success, but understanding that the road to success is not straight. It's not A to B. It is curved. It is over and under. It is overcoming fear, going around obstacles. It is thinking outside the box. If you want to be successful, if you want to live the successful life, you really have to be able to embrace thinking outside of your comfort zone. You've got to be ready to be uncomfortable and to love it, to enjoy it, to push for it, to understand that it's only when you're uncomfortable, it's only when you don't have everything that you need, it's only when you are pushed that you really tap in to your true potential. You know, when I was growing up, my wife, when she was growing up, actually, she used to love this show called Dragon Ball Z, and I've only seen it a couple times. But in this show, the characters, they would be, you know, battling with each other, brawling and having, you know, big fights, and it's a cartoon show. And what would happen is, as the characters got increasingly more and more stressed, they would get to a sort of a tipping point, and right when they're at that tipping point, they would access this sort of inner power, and this inner power would ignite, and it would almost set their whole body on some sort of like metaphorical blaze, basically, and they would become stronger, their hair color would change, and they would just be, I mean, it's like they tapped into their ultimate potential, and it only came out, though, when they were at the tipping point. Another good example is the Incredible Hulk. You know, he says, "Don't make me angry, you won't like me when I'm angry." But if you really think about it, it's when he is pushed to the tipping point that he becomes the Incredible Hulk. It's at that time that he becomes this big, massive, hulking creature that can overcome literally any obstacle. So, without sounding corny, tap into your Incredible Hulk. Tap into your tipping point. Understand that obstacles are there for a reason. They're there to make it difficult. They're there to make the journey less traveled. They're there to filter out the weak from the strong. And they're there to allow you to grow. And when you grow, when you tap into that utmost potential, you are living the successful life. If you like what you see and you want to be a part of our ongoing conversation, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you haven't already, please visit our daily blog at www.blue-artists.com.